This movie don't get nothing from me. This movie is on some ghetto ass, busted ass. Y'all ain't gonna get nothing out of me. This movie was terrible. Y'all ain't getting lashes. Y'all ain't getting makeup. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Like, this is... We are fighting today.
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Yarn Goddess Cosplay, and I'm back again with another Stitch and Bitch video. Today we're gonna be reviewing Coffee and Kareem. Y'all, this movie was so bad. I couldn't do my hair, I couldn't do my nail, I couldn't do nothing, okay? I was just like, this busted ass movie about to get a busted ass goddess. But first, if you are new here, welcome! Howdy! How'd you find me? I'm Yarn Goddess Cosplay. Welcome to my channel. This is my little series called Stitch and Bitch Sundays, and like I get to review terrible movies and TV shows that I like to watch and tell you guys about it. And you guys have been overwhelmingly supportive, and you guys think I'm funny, and I'm actually really excited because I really generally do enjoy making these, and you guys keep hyping me up to I actually found something that works. But if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, become a Yarnling. Yeah, I got a name for you guys now. Yarnlings are my followers, and we have a good old time over here. And if you check out my Patreon and everything, join that little that tier right there, and you get a little Yarnling sticker. So get yourself some merch. Oh my god. If you are a returning viewer, thank you guys so much for supporting me. Last time I checked, I think I was trying to get to 200 by February 1st, and it didn't happen. But I honestly, I can't really bring myself to care that much because y'all were like, we gonna try, we gonna do it, and we jumped from 149 to 184, and I'm just like, oh, little old me. It was the overwhelming alright bet that I really appreciate from you guys. So welcome new subscribers. How y'all doing? What's up? What's good? How's your haunted pizzeria going? Yes, we're still in it. So real quick, I actually forgot to mention that as I complain about the movies I like to watch, I'm actually also gonna be crocheting, and I've been working on this scarf for I don't know how many episodes now. This scarf ain't never gonna be done. It's fine. Coffee and Kareem is available on Netflix. It came out in 2020. It was filmed, I think, also it was released April 2020, and it was filmed, I think, late 2019 or whatever. But when I say this movie was so bad that I literally obsessively looked up names, directors, I'm talking budget, everything. I was like, I need specific heads to roll because this movie is so painfully tone deaf and not funny, and it's bad in the worst way possible. And I just want everyone to know that when I'm done watching this and warning everyone to not watch it, I am going to personally serve hands. Okay, I'm going to have an official scroll, and I'm going to step out on my balcony and be like, hear ye, all those that can catch these hands. It was just so bad, and it was so new. That's what killed me. It was so new. It didn't come out 2000. It didn't come out 1998. It came out 2020. So, Coffee and Kareem is this cop and little boy buddy film. And the premise of it is this cop is dating this black woman. It's Taraji P. Henson. Girl, I'm sorry you win this. The cop is played by Ed Holmes and everything, and the general premise of the movie is this little boy doesn't appreciate that his mom is dating the cop, and he decides he's going to call up the local Detroit gang to kill the cop. Y'all tell me how they got here. This little kid's supposed to be 12. He's played by Terrence L. Gardenhigh, and again, I know you gotta get your bag too, but why like this? The premise of the movie, I'm trying to stay focused, but literally all I want to do is scream for an hour and a half and then edit down to 20 minutes of me screaming into the void. One thing to remember about this movie is that as I was aggressively looking up names so I could have my list of people who could catch these hands, there's not a single black person. There's nary a that is on the producer, screenplay, music, writer, nothing list. It's just a slew of white people, a Canadian white guy even, who are putting together this movie about a 12-year-old boy who was going to call up his local gang to kill his mom's cop boyfriend because he doesn't like them dating. Is this what you guys do? Like, y'all just choose violence. Like, black people be minding our business and y'all just decide to choose violence in the year 2020. In April 2020, this movie was released and y'all were just like, you know what we need? A stereotypical movie about black people. And like, you know, a cop, because we need to make sure that cops are forever portrayed in a good light, because, you know, it's not like they're out here killing us. They are actually good people, and it's not all of them, it's just a shit ton of bad apples. Given the apple tree is predominantly bad apples, but like, you know, one of them apples are... I hate everything about this movie. So the movie opens up with Tarja P. Henson and Ed Holmes, Coffee, having this bad opening sex scene. It's not even really sex. Like, I don't even know why they would call it sex scene. It was just really bad overall, and it scarred me and my imaginary audience. He doesn't walk in on them, but like they imply that he saw them, you know, trying to get it on, and he's just like, you know what, this is the final straw. I can't believe that this cop is trying to bang my mom. I gotta take care of him. And me being 12, the only logical answer is for me to call my local Detroit gang to take out this cop. Yeah. The other thing that really kills me about this movie too is the fact that they made the 12-year-old so foul-mouthed. And not even just foul-mouthed like he cusses a lot. They gave him all of the worst jokes possible. And that in itself is a problem, because this movie is already bad, but the fact they thought it was okay to give a 12-year-old a slew of jokes that range anywhere from sex jokes to jokes about pedophiles. There is no love in this movie. The next scene cuts to the kid, the son, Kareem, talking to one of his best friends in the bathroom stall, and they're just like, you know, we can't have a cop dating his mom because it's going to ruin his rap career and his street cred. There's a bunch of other stereotypical things, and he is cussing so much. And like, it's not even just the way that he's cussing that makes it obnoxious. It's just the fact that it really feels like the directors were just like, hey, how many times we get this kid to say in a Netflix movie? And they really went for it. They were basically like Tarantino trying to say the N-word as many times as possible. And it just kills me because like as he's talking, they eventually get caught in the bathroom. They're skipping class, and he's just like, you know, oh my god, you know, this teacher is gonna like, you know, grill me and everything, and I gotta get back to class. And it's not even like he gets caught by the teacher first. He gets caught by like one of the other school officials, and as he comes into the bathroom, he's just like, hey, if you're in here with me, I'm gonna say that you're peeping through the hole. And I'm just like, this is not, no. But he does all that. The teacher overhears him, and the teacher eventually tells Kareem that if he doesn't come present his little poem, that he's going to be held back in the 5th grade. So Kareem eventually comes out of the bathroom stall, and he goes back to class. It's his turn to present his poem, and he literally just raps about fingering his Asian teachers. So the next scene jumps to a drug raid, or a drug bust, or whatever you want to call it. And obviously it's a bunch of cops and everything busting into this house. And because this is supposed to be some really weird good cop, bad cop nonsense, hyper aware of police brutality in 2020, but also trying to make jokes, the cops and everything get to the door. The main cop, Watts is her name, she basically tells all of her officers that, you know, this is just a routine drug bust. We're not trying to shoot anybody. We don't want this shit on YouTube. Again, I remember looking up names, directors, screenplay writers, everything, and I felt the whiteness in the room. I just felt it. Okay, I walked in, it's just a sheer piece of paper. So they do a little drug bust and everything. He's in this movie. I think King Bach is also in this movie. There's a couple of like, you know, B-tier actors, former Vine stars on here that are just making their Netflix money and trying to go. But, you know, drug bust goes okay. I think only one person gets shot. Some other stuff happens. Long story short, everything's good and golden. Watts is having a good old time, and the cops look great on TV. Coffee is in charge of transporting one of the gang members that they caught to the police facility, and there's a video of him basically getting bamboozled and losing the cop car to the gang member, and also losing the gang member. So Watts and everything, this white woman of a police officer basically spends the next scene just roasting. And it's not even roasting, it's just emasculating Coffee for like a good 5 minutes. And like none of these jokes are fucking funny. Like they're just her making jokes about him having a vagina and eating a tampon, him having a small dick, and how his wife left him and ended up banging half the police force. Like you already know she's gonna be the bad guy. Like she's definitely gonna be the bad guy. There's no ands or buts about it. And she basically, like, you know, leaves, and they end up putting Coffee on traffic duty because they were like, hey, if we can't trust you to get any gang members to like the police precinct, then we just gonna trust you with traffic. That's it. So as he's doing a traffic routine, Tarja B. Henson, the mom, she calls him up and she's just like, hey, you know, I need you to go get Coffee, or I need you to go get Kareem from school. And I really like you two to bond and everything because, like, I need you to know that, like, you know, if we're going to make this work, if me, a black woman, is going to make it work with a white cop in Detroit, I need you to be cool with my son. I think before that, another scene happens where his mom tells Kareem that Coffee's going to pick him up, and he's like, oh, this is perfect. I could have him drive me down to where the gang members are, and I could tell them that I got a cop in the car, and that they could kill him for me, and, you know, everything will be all fine and dandy afterward. Coffee picks up Kareem and takes him down to where the gang members are. He says he's taking him to a friend's house or whatever. He even tells his mom that Coffee's taking him to a friend's house. And he takes him to a very obviously sketchy backwoods neighborhood, but it's whatever because he's oblivious to everything. And he lets Kareem go inside and basically go to his friend's house. As he walks in, because this movie has something vaguely reminiscent of a plot, Kareem basically walks in. The gang members tell them his plan, and he's just like, you know, hey, I got a cop and everything. The gang members also have a cop. They don't realize that Kareem has his camera on because he's on his phone YouTubing about how he's like, you know, the best gangster in the neighborhood, best rapper, whatever. Just some more, you know, stereotypical bullshit. And he leaves his camera on, not realizing that he's still recording. Unfortunately, Kareem sees the gang members kill this cop. And, you know, the camera's still on, everything's recorded. And now Kareem is like, oh shit, I gotta go. This isn't gonna work. I'm 12, because, you know, he's 12. And he runs over to Coffee. Coffee is like vaguely suspicious that he's in the wrong neighborhood. He's supposed to be playing dumb the entire time. And when he sees Kareem running away from these gangsters who are actively shooting at him, he's just like, oh crap, you know, we gotta go here, we'll hide. And now begins this really weird buddy cop. We gotta work together against the gang members so that we live, and I could be a good cop and also a good potential stepfather to you, because the whole point of this is about bonding. So as they're hiding away from the gang members, to no one's surprise, Kareem actually drops his phone when he was running away from the gang members. And what's his name? I think he was actually from Sister. Yeah, he vaguely rings a bell. Like, anyway, he making Netflix money. So the guy from Sister and everything is like, oh, I have his phone. Oh crap, he has this recording and everything. I guess, you know, we gotta find him and do something about this because we can't be caught killing the cop. And they somehow assume that they somehow figured that the best way to go about all this is to frame Coffee for kidnapping Kareem, and to tell the police officers that, hey, there's a kidnapping happened, it's Coffee, you know, he's gone crazy or whatever, y'all need to go find him to go get the kid. So they eventually make it back home, Coffee and Kareem, I really hate the name of this movie. It's Coffee and Kareem, but it's Coffee and Cream because who doesn't love a good food play on names? They eventually make it back to the house, and they don't want to tell their mom, they don't want to tell Tarja B. Henson anything, because they're just like, you know what, play it cool and everything. I took you to your friend's house, everything's fine, she don't need to know. An Amber Alert goes off on TV. It's Kareem. The police precinct, Watts is leading the whole thing, because she's just like, oh my gosh, Coffee, I know, like, you got this little boy with you and everything. We just want you to come home safely. Kareem, we want you to come home safely. We just need to know that you're safe and that everything's okay. Please don't do anything rash, blah, 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 blah. Tarja B. Henson sees this, and she starts losing her shit, respectfully so, because, her son is on an Amber Alert, and her son is in the living room with them, and she doesn't understand what's going on, because she's like, why are you not telling me what's going on when my little boy is on TV as an Amber Alert when he's right in front of me? And why are they saying that you're crazy? They make some vague jokes and everything where she's just like, oh, why did I try dating a white guy, blah, 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 blah. Like, they have these really weird moments where they're slightly hyper aware of the fact that they're playing a black guy or a black woman with a white man cop. But it doesn't stick, because all of it's just kind of passing thought, because as she says this, Kareem manages to get Coffee's taser. Yeah, and this is going exactly where no one wants it to go. And he tases Tarja B. Henson. And Coffee looks at him, shocked, surprised, appalled a little bit, but also just like, why? And Kareem tells Coffee that they gotta go, because the gay members are outside, they're gonna break in soon, and you can't reason with an angry black woman. Tyler Perry made 9 movies about that. If you're wondering why, Yarn Goddess, why did you stay? Why did you commit to watching the rest of this movie? And it's because I made it this far. And if I'm going to grill and roast someone, it's going to be thorough, okay? I'm going to ask your pronouns. I'm going to ask how old you are. I'm going to ask if you have any triggers. I'm going to ask you all the proper questions first. And when I am done with you, when I am done collecting my information, I will thoroughly roast you all the way to hell and back. And then I will let everyone else know that this is a garbage dumpster fire movie and deserves to be off of Netflix. It doesn't deserve to have any placement in a movie theater ever. It could be burned to the goddamn ground. And I want everyone to know that this movie did not have to be made. No movies ever should be made like this. Canada, I don't fucking care how far you guys are. Okay, Vancouver, close enough to New York. If you guys think that this is an appropriate movie to make and to sell to Americans, it's on site. I'm finding you on site. I am throwing hands on site. So they managed to get away from the gang members looking for them in their house and all that. And Coffee decides to take everyone to a sex hotel. Yeah, no, like this movie, you think it can't get any worse, but it does. It gets so much worse. And again, with the pedo jokes, I wasn't like, I like dark humor. I really do enjoy fucked up humor that makes you chuckle and also makes you cry a little bit. I enjoy that confusion of emotions where you're not really sure which emoji to use because you kind of want to use all of them. But when the jokes are just falling flat consistently, when the jokes aren't funny, they're just gross, I don't care for jokes like that. I don't care for comedy like this. And what kills me is like they have Coffee and Kareem go into the sex hotel. The clerk basically recognizes Coffee, and Kareem is just like, oh, so you've been here before. Okay. And Coffee's trying to play off like, nope, I have no idea what you're talking about. The clerk sees Coffee with Kareem, and he's just like, I won't say nothing. So they get into the hotel and everything. He's like, I think Coffee's like, I gotta go find this other gang member that has your phone. I gotta go do this and this. And Coffee is like, I gotta go do it alone. Kareem is like, listen, you can't do it by yourself and everything. You're basically a pussy, because he's constantly emasculating him. He makes some more inappropriate pedo jokes. I'm not even gonna repeat it. So they go off together and everything. They go find the guy that has his phone, and I think they have like this really weird like fight. Oh, no. This is what happens. Come in closer. Come here. So they get Kareem's friend, the guy earlier, super early in the beginning of the movie, where he's talking about going to ruin your rap career, blah blah blah, to track his phone. They find out where his phone is. Okay, they go to this warehouse. It's a coke warehouse. Ta-da! No one's surprised. And as they walk in, Coffee is like, okay, you know, I need you to protect yourself, but like, I'm not gonna give you a gun. I have a taser. You know how to use it, obviously, and you know we're gonna go in together. Kareem basically says that he, you know, is not, I don't know, cop enough, boss man enough to use his gun, and that Kareem is more of a man, so he should get the gun and Coffee should get the taser. Kareem threatens to tase Coffee, and so they switch. Kareem gets the gun, Coffee gets the taser. They go in. They go separate ways because, you know, what does a coke house need? Naked women. Kareem sees the naked women, he falls in because ass, and Coffee stays focused on finding the gang member. And, you know, there's a little fight scene, there's a little scruffle and all that. Coke is flying everywhere. Eventually, Coffee gets the gang member down, and just before the gang member is like, you know, caught, he picks up a gun and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna kill you. Kareem comes back just in time to point the gun at the gang member and be like, hey, if you don't go down, I will shoot you. He doesn't shoot anyone. They have this really weird, like, you know, oh, talk the little boy down, blah, 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 blah. They talk him down. Coffee gets the gun. Coffee accidentally shoots off the gun. No one gets hurt, surprisingly enough, but, like, they cut to the next scene where, you know, they got to interrogate the gang member now. So after they capture the gang member, they try to threaten him, but it's not working because, you know, Coffee, his whole identity is just basically not being a man, whatever that means. And Kareem basically tells him that he needs to be gay and aggressive. And I'm like, huh? So basically Coffee attempts comedy, and, or I guess Ed Holmes attempts comedy. And he basically just starts doing very gay things at the black man because what's this movie, you know, missing? Homophobia. And it works. It works. And this guy's like freaked out because he's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with some other nonsense. And he basically tells him that, you know, the cop from earlier, Watts, is a dirty cop, to no one's surprise. And that they're basically going to frame Coffee for killing the cop earlier. And that there's like a 10K bounty out on the kid. And that they need to fix everything because Watts is batshit crazy. And she's definitely going to kill everyone if she doesn't get her way because she's hyped up on coke 24/7. And can we talk? I just wanna know, on behalf of black people as a whole, just on behalf of I don't know, myself, my community, when are you guys going to talk about your racism? When are you guys going to sit down and realize that you too have a problem? When are you going to realize that racism doesn't stop at the border? It does flow over. It does actually not come from the US, but from within you. Because I really feel like this movie just expressed a lot of different things that you guys are not ready to unpack yet. And it's okay. I know I have threatened to throw hands at you guys a lot. And I still will. But after I'm done beating your ass, let's sit down. Let's talk. This will become a safe space after you catch my hands. And after you have thoroughly had your ass beat, we can sit down and begin to unpack this anti-blackness and racism that you just seem to spew out into this movie that is encouraged by the other white directors. I just feel like you have a self journey to go on, and you're not finding the right people to help you with this. I'm also not the one. I'm just here to throw hands. But I will lie to you and tell you this is a safe space. So now that Coffee realizes that Watts is dirty, he calls the captain and he's like, hey, I gotta go tell you something about Watts. Meet me here. They have a great buffet. And he takes Kareem to a strip club. Yes, a strip club. Like I said, this movie just really bad. And the captain comes over. He tells him, hey, guess what? I'm dirty too. And we're just like, wow, no one's surprised except for Coffee. Watts is also there with him. I think Watts ends up killing the captain because, you know, a black man hasn't died yet, so why not start with the captain? and she basically tries to kill Kareem and Coffee as well. They manage to get away. Now she's like, officially the main bad guy, out and open, proud bad guy. And she's, just gonna go out and try to kill them. They basically have like this bad car chasing scene. Kareem is driving the car because, that should be funny. It's not. They get away from Watts and one of the other gang members who just happens to be King. I think it's King Botch at this point. No one gets names. They just get hands. They make it back to the hotel and they think, oh my god, their mom, is like, kidnapped. And they have this really weird, like, yelling match at each other because they're just like, oh, well, if you were smart, you wouldn't be here. If you were this, you wouldn't be here. If I was smart, I wouldn't be dating your mom the moment I met you. Blah, 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 blah. That line is important because the mom, Tarja B. Henson, comes into the hotel room and she's just like, why are you yelling at my boy like this? And they cut back to, like, what happens. And basically, strong black woman. It's Tarja B. Henson. Like, if you don't know her discography, she literally is just that black woman. She is that bitch. Okay? She will beat your ass. She will win the fight. So, gang members don't get her. She got them tied up in the back of the car. Basically, she hears Coffee and she says, like, you know what? All this is too much. And I'm going to take my son. I'm going to leave you. We're going to get out of town because all this, stems from you. So, we're just going to leave. As they try to leave, ta-da, Watts and her crew finds them and kidnaps them. And now, she's damsel in distress. All that superwoman strength, out the door. She can't do nothing no more. So now Coffee has to, like, do this really weird final scene, final act. I'm gonna be the good cop saving a black woman and her child from these gang members and from these dirty cops, because this whole thing is still cop propaganda. So some more schematics happen and everything. He goes over, he's still inept. He has like different grenades and everything. He basically threatens to blow up everyone if they don't release Kareem and Tarja P. Henson, and they like he throws a grenade and Watts doesn't believe that's a real grenade, so like she basically is like, oh, it's not that big a deal, just do whatever, just come over here, we won't kill you, we'll release them. She's lying obviously, but he throws a grenade. And what kills me about this scene is that it's the colorism for me. The gang members, you got King Botch, you have the one guy from Sister, and you have this darker actor who basically plays the most aggressive gangster. He caught my eye because they zoom in on him eating cornbread. They zoom in on him killing the cop earlier in the movie, and his final zoom in is when he says, "I'm not afraid of any," and then he doesn't get to finish his sentence because the grenade rolls underneath him and then blows him up. And this scene was traumatizing to me because no matter what, like, white people, I know you're not okay. I don't know why I'm so asking this dumbass question, but it's just the fact that, like, in any and all movie, you guys still manage to find a way to kill off the darkest character. Give him the least, like, you manage to subconsciously imply all the stereotypes onto this dark adult male. And his final scene is you guys blowing him up, and then that's where his whole story ends. Basically, when he dies, half the coke gets blown up. Watts is upset. She's just like, oh my god, my coke is gonna be run. I won't be able to trade it to the French Canadians or whatever she's doing. And the whole thing basically ends with, I think, they have some like final fight scene. His name is Orlando. I just remember his name now. Girl, he don't get a name. Okay? Everyone's gonna call him O for now. The other gang member, sister guy, Orlando, aka O, ends up working with them because he realizes that he doesn't really want to be a gang member. He was just doing this for the money. He actually really doesn't even want a rap career. He wants to be a dentist. King Botch gets away with some money. The deal goes sideways. Watts is losing her shit. The warehouse blows up. Coffee saves the day. Tarja P. Henson and Kareem are okay. I think Tarja P. Henson also ends up shooting Watts at the very end because she comes down. She's like, I'm gonna kill Coffee, and she's just like, no, don't kill my man or whatever. And they do like a slow mo, her firing off the gun multiple times. It's just really unnecessary and more stereotypical stuff. Doesn't fucking matter. And I think King Botch like lives through all this, and he gets run off with some money. I don't know why that was important, but it was there. And I think Mr. Orlando, you know, I guess is going to testify against Waz. They don't really explain how his story ends. They just go, hey, these people live. He's a good cop. He got rid of bad cops. Ta-da! Happy cop buddy buddy movie. Please go to Netflix and download it. Go to Netflix right now and email them and be like, why is this garbage on here? Why is this allowed to be on your channel? Why? Okay? Why? I think moving forward, because like I also got here because I looked up top 10 worst movies on Netflix, and they were one of the ones that I hadn't heard about, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. But moving forward, I really need my bad movies to just be bad. Like, I don't need them to be racist. I don't need them to be stereotypical. I don't need them to be sexist. I don't need them to be emasculating. I don't need them to be all sort of stuff that I deal with on a regular basis. I need them to be bad as in poor camera choices. I need them to be bad as in poor acting choices. I need them to be bad in the sense that you only had $1 million and you blew most of it on CGI. Like, I need them to be artistically bad, not just racism. I hope you guys like this video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out my Patreon. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, rest of your afternoon, or if you're just waking up, good morning. I'm sorry this is the first thing you clicked on, but you know, thank you for the views. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And also, don't forget, if you have a movie suggestion below and it's not just racism, leave it in the comments. I want to watch more terrible things. I have another movie lined up for you guys, but like, you know, go leave a suggestion in the comments below. Bye!